Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to Mindful Moments, the podcast where we explore the pathways to a healthier mind and a more authentic life. Today, we're delving deeper into a topic that's incredibly pertinent in our fast-paced world, the media's impact on our mental well-being. In our last episode, we touched upon how the media can sometimes act as a source of stress, anxiety, and misinformation. Today, we're going to expand on that by exploring how media consumption can become a toxic addiction, a habit that subtly yet powerfully influences our thoughts and behaviors. So, find a comfortable spot, perhaps brew a cup of your favorite tea, and let's journey through this critical conversation together. Let's begin by considering the media as a substance that's been carefully crafted to capture and hold our attention. In many ways, it's akin to a manufactured product designed to fulfill a specific purpose. Enormous resources, billions of dollars in fact, are invested in creating content that is engaging, persuasive, and at times addictive. Think about it. Media companies employ experts in psychology, marketing, and user experience to fine-tune every detail. Their goal is to keep you hooked, to make the consumption of media not just a pastime, but a habitual part of your daily routine. This isn't necessarily sinister on its own. After all, businesses aim to succeed. However, when the content is engineered to manipulate emotions or perceptions without our conscious awareness, it becomes a concern. Just as a toxic substance can harm the body, toxic media can harm the mind. It seeps into our thoughts, shapes our beliefs, and can even alter our behavior. Without realizing it, we might find ourselves echoing opinions we've absorbed rather than those we've thoughtfully formed. Consider how easily scrolling through news feeds or social media can become an unconscious habit. Before you know it, minutes turn into hours. This compulsive consumption isn't far removed from other forms of addiction. It provides a temporary escape or a fleeting sense of satisfaction, but often leaves us feeling empty or anxious afterward. Moreover, when we recognize that some media content is deliberately designed to influence us, crafted by individuals who are experts in persuasion and propaganda, the parallel becomes even more striking. If we're not mentally equipped to critically evaluate what we're consuming, we become susceptible to these influences, much like how a substance can alter our state of mind without our full consent. It's important to clarify that this isn't about demonizing all media. There are countless sources that aim to inform, uplift, and educate. The key is discernment, being able to distinguish between content that enriches us and content that detracts from our well-being. So, how do we break free from this cycle? Firstly, acknowledge the addictive nature of certain media. Just as one might recognize unhealthy habits in other areas of life, becoming aware is the first step toward change. Secondly, set intentional boundaries. Allocate specific times for media consumption and stick to them. Consider removing or limiting apps and sources that you find particularly draining or manipulative. Thirdly, replace the habit with more nourishing activities. Engage in hobbies that bring you joy, spend time outdoors, read a book, or connect with loved ones face to face. These activities can provide the fulfillment that mindless media consumption often fails to deliver. Additionally, cultivate your mental defenses. Equip yourself with critical thinking skills. Question the intent behind the content you consume. Who created it? What might their motivations be? Is the information balanced and factual? Remember, just as we wouldn't knowingly ingest something harmful to our bodies, we should be cautious about what we feed our minds. Let's also explore the concept of digital detox. Taking deliberate breaks from media can have profound effects on our mental health. It allows us to reset, to recalibrate our thoughts without the constant noise of external influences. Many people who've reduced their media intake report feeling less stressed, more focused, and happier overall. They find that life feels richer and more authentic when it's not filtered through screens and agendas. It's empowering to realize that we don't need constant media consumption to live fulfilling lives. In fact, by stepping back, we often gain a clearer perspective on what's truly important to us. As we wrap up today's discussion, I invite you to consider this. Your mind is a precious space. It's the lens through which you experience the world. By being mindful of what you allow into it, you take control of your well-being and your life. You have the power to choose. You can opt for content that enlightens and inspires, rather than content that drains and manipulates. By breaking free from the toxic habits of mindless media consumption, you open the door to greater peace, clarity, and joy. Life is abundant and full of possibilities. You don't need the constant influx of media to validate or guide you. Trust yourself, embrace the silence, and discover the richness that comes from within. Thank you for joining me on this meaningful journey today. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who might also benefit. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so feel free to reach out. Until our next mindful moment, take care of yourself and cherish the freedom that comes from living consciously.